What does the African island nation of Mauritius have to do with the case that South Africa brought before the International Court of Justice, ICJ, invoking the Genocide Convention and accusing Israel of committing genocide against the Palestinian people in Gaza, a case that the ICJ will hear on January 11, 2024. Well, our story begins in 1965, when Britain, the colonial ruler of both Mauritius and Chagos Archipelago, separated the two. A year later, Britain leased the Chagos Archipelago to the U.S. to establish an American naval base on the island of Diego Garcia. However, the U.S. government requested that the islands be emptied of their natives, and Britain complied, resulting in the forced expulsion of the Chagos Islanders. Mauritius, aiming to reunite with the Chagos Islands, brought a case against Britain to the ICJ. In 2019, the court issued an advisory opinion deeming that the separation of the Chagos Islands from Mauritius unlawful, demanding that the UK ends its administration of the Chagos Islands promptly. The ICJ's sole dissenting vote against Mauritius, siding with Britain, came from the American judge on the court, Joan Donohue. In the upcoming January 11th hearing, the president of the ICJ will be none other than Judge Joan Donohue. Judge Donohue worked for decades as a legal advisor to the U.S. State Department, which suggests a potential conflict of interest. Her pivotal role in the ICJ as the ICJ president and the genocide allegations against Israel might sway the proceedings, especially that the U.S. government, her former employer, could be implicated by the ICJ for its role as an accomplice and financial, military, and political enabler of the Israeli genocide. Because of her not-so-illustrious record, siding with the oppressor against the oppressed, and for the integrity of the process, it is imperative that Judge Donohue recuses herself from presiding over the ICJ during the January 11th hearings on the Israeli genocide against the Palestinians in Gaza.